Alright, hello guys, this is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena draft, and I think we need more Ixalan on my channel, so let's fire one off. I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's begin. And pack one, pick one. Well, that's a good one. What's this? Direfleet Poisoner. Nice 2-mana 2/2 flash Death Touch creature, so the opponent usually doesn't play around it or suspect it. And then it does want you to be playing this in an aggressive deck, since it can, for its ETB ability, it can pump one of your attacking pirates with +1/+1 and give it Death Touch, so that's pretty powerful. Not only can you use this card via defense, but if you're attacking and the opponent goes for like a double block, for example, on one of your pirates, you can flash this in and get a nice 2-for-1, or even force the opponent to lose a creature and you get to net and kill a creature for free. So Direfleet Poisoner is definitely very good. Of course, it's best in the Pirates Tribal since it can only affect other attacking pirates, but it's still pretty good as a defensive creature in a black deck. So I wouldn't mind playing this in the Vampires deck too, although I do want to maximize the power level by playing this in a Pirates deck. There's Siren Reaver, which is a great flying creature, especially in the Pirates deck since you're looking to be quite aggressive. Nice way to cast a 3-mana 3/2 flyer, and that's 3-mana 3/2 for a flying creature is definitely a great cost. So Siren Reaver is also a very good uncommon. How good is Forerunner of the Coalition? Not bad. I mean, whenever a pirate ETBs under your control, the opponent loses 1 life, so it's a decent way to drain drain your opponent, and it's a decent way to scry for a good pirate, so to speak, since it goes to the top of your library and not in your hands. This is also a pretty good card. Forerunner of the Empire is also great. It's just like the Forerunner of the Coalition. I guess these Forerunners are all trying to scry a good dino or a pirate on top. And then it's a powerful Enrage Enabler, allowing you, anytime a dinosaur ETBs, you can just deal 1 damage to each creature and then enabling Enrage. So it's also great. So the uncommon and the rare are looking very good. Looking at the commons, they seem okay. There's Crashing Tide as a decent interaction spell, and great if you're playing Merfolk since you can cast this at instant speed and draw a card and bounce the opponent's creature. Martyr Dust is a nice pet 2-drop of mine. I just like how it leaves back a 1/1 vampire creature token, but definitely not in par with the uncommons. Both Forerunner and both Forerunners are close in power level since they're both trying to do the same thing. Obviously, if you're playing pirates, you want to be aggressive, so the ETB ability by draining the opponent is nice, and then this is a nice Enrage Enabler. Siren's Reaver is also good for an evasive pirates deck, but I think it's just a Direfleet Poisoner as the card with the most potential upside. Obviously, you want to be playing this in the Grixis decks, but it's not like any of these other 3 cards are even or flexible either way. I guess Siren Reaver is pretty good in the Merfolk deck since you're looking to be attacking with evasive 1/1 Merfolks, and you can cast this on 3. Therefore, it is also flexible, but I don't think it's as good as the Direfleet Poisoner in terms of power level. This wants to be played in the Grixis decks, but I think I prefer the Direfleet Poisoner, and this wants to be played in the Naya decks. But again, I think even though most of the uncommons aren't great and flexible, I think the price upside is the Direfleet Poisoner, and we can draft a pretty fun Pirates themed deck. So I don't mind taking it here. I think it's just too good to pass up. I think either way, even though I'm kind of forcing myself to an archetype, I think the power level is high enough that I can give up on the flexibility. The more flexible pick option would again be the Siren Reaver, but I'm not going to take it over a powerful card that's versatile and on the offensive and defensive game plan. So we'll take a Direfleet Poisoner. Maybe we can draft a Pirates deck this time instead of the Merfolk or the Vampires, and it should be pretty fun. Okay, what's this? Ooh, a Direfleet Netbreaker. This goes pretty nice with the Pirates theme we're going, especially if we're going to be aggressive and attacking, so this is a great card. Famished Paladin I'm not too high on. It's a decent 2-mana 3/3 blocker, but either way, even in Vampires deck with Lifelink, you don't really untap this too often unless you have a lot of Lifelink. So either way, it's an okay 2-drop, but I'm not very excited about. Suncrested Pterodon is a overperformer, a nice 5-drop for any white deck, even if you're not playing dinos, just as a good blocker in the air and a nice evasive threat in the late game. So this is also a good card. Secrets is also great as a divination, though the double blue is a bit of a hindrance sometimes. Sometimes just casting 3 mana, drawing 2 is solid if you need to take a turn off and forget about building your board. These cards are definitely better if you're up ahead, since you're using essentially a whole turn or 3 mana just to draw 2. So there are drawbacks with playing cards that don't really develop the board, obviously, but it's definitely nice to be up ahead and casting this for 3. Moment of Craving, I guess, is the best common in this pack. I can play this in any Vampire or Pirates deck. But overall, I think with our first pick, the Direfleet Poisoner, we just want to maximize the synergy with Pirates. And the Direfleet Netbreaker is a good reason to be forcing the Rakdos Pirates deck. Otherwise, I think I would take the Moment of Craving as a good removal spell in any archetype. But with our first pick, Direfleet Poisoner, we definitely want to be playing Pirates. So we'll go off color here. Maybe just force the black-red Pirates deck. And forcing a tribe is definitely something you really want to do in Ixalan draft. Rivals, to be exact, since you want to kind of just cut off the tribe as quickly as possible and get all the payoffs later. So I'll take a Direfleet Netbreaker. Any good cards for us? There's a Silverclad Ferocidon. Not great. It can be a decent card as an Enrage payoff, but still 7 mana without Trample. Slippery Scoundrel is pretty good if I want to be in, I guess, blue-red. But it's also pretty solid in black-blue. And it's also a Pirates, so this can give us an option in case we want to go to the black-blue Ascend deck. And it's a pretty good one. Arterial Flow can be okay, but we're now Vampires deck. There's a Charging Tuscadon, which I wouldn't mind as a decent curve topper in the black-red Pirates deck, even though this isn't a Pirate. Just having this able to connect for even 2 damage, dealing 4 damage to the opponent can be quite critical. There's Exultant Sky Marcher for the Vampires deck, which I'm also a big fan of. Fanatical Firebrand. It's a nice Pirate if we want to stay safe and pick up a 1-drop. And just kind of go all in this black-red Pirates deck. There's a Hunt a Week, but that's for the blue. That's for the green-red dinos. So really, the cards I think we're looking at are the Fanatical Firebrand, the Charging Tuscadon, and the Slippery Scoundrel. With this being passed to us, maybe we just force the black-red Pirates deck. Although I think Slippery Scoundrel is definitely better than the Fanatical Firebrand if we do end up in the black-blue Ascend deck. But the black-blue Ascend deck is looking to be a little bit more defensive. And then the Slippery Scoundrel is like a win condition in the late game, since it's not often that you're going to cast this on turn 3 and just get Ascend right away. And it's not only until you get the City's Blessing that this has hexproof and it can't be blocked. So it does take a while to get there, but overall it's still a fine card. But I think we just take the Fanatical Firebrand here. Maybe just force the Pirates team. This is a nice 1-drop, and then we can turn 2 use a Direfleet Poisoner, and then turn 4 use a Direfleet Netbreaker. It's kind of going all in. Definitely the Slippery Scoundrel and these Charging Tuscadon are higher in power level, but the Fanatical Firebrand just fits our first 2 picks quite well, and it has a lot of synergy. So we'll take a Fanatical Firebrand here. Force Rakdos. And Daring Buccaneer is excellent. There's also just a Goblin Trailblazer. Waterknot is the best card in this entire pack. There's also Dinosaur Hunter, which is a good pirate, so lots of interesting options for us. Daring Buccaneer seems pretty good. Like, imagine a 1-mana 2/2 in a deck that's going all in with pirates. There's also just a Goblin Trailblazer if we don't care about playing a 1-mana 2/2. And the menace can be quite nice, making this pretty difficult to block. Dinosaur Hunter would also be fine, just as a decent 2-drop as well that can hold off a dinosaur. So it's really just between these 3. I mean, I could try the uncommon, but maybe the Goblin Trailblazer is just better, since it has menace. Like, this can be very good if you can play it exactly on turn 1, but that's a big if. If this is a late game card, it's not that exciting. However, like the Goblin Trailblazer and the Dinosaur Hunter as late game cards can be better, since this can at least trade off for a dinosaur, and this has menace. So I don't know here. Maybe just take a Goblin Trailblazer. But let's just say also this has some drawbacks. Let's say you somehow manage to not have pirates in the opening hand. You don't really want to pay a 3-mana 2/2. So we'll try the Goblin Trailblazer. I think it's nice enough just as a 2/1 Menacer that it can get some damage in, and I think the game plan is to get as much damage in as possible, and the Goblin Trailblazer can accomplish that goal, so we'll take it here. Another Fanatical Firebrand looks good. There's also Recover that can maybe get back some of our pirates, but I think we're just going to go all in with the aggressive plan. We're not really looking to grind in this deck. We're not looking to just generate value by, like, I don't know, getting to turn 5 or something and returning something back. I think we're just trying to just deal as much damage as possible, and this is a fine card. There's Mistcloak Herald, which is the common bomb in this set, mythic common, since, yeah, I've been quite impressed by this card. To be honest, it's quite scary. Swift Warden is also another great Merfolk payoff, since it can make cards like the Mistcloak Herald unable to be destroyed by giving it hexproof. But we'll just take a Firebrand. Swaggering Corsair seems excellent. Nice 3-drop, and we're looking to attack right away. We could use a good 3-drop, and this is most likely going to be a 3-mana 3/3 most of the time, since we do have some nice pirates to play in the early game. So we'll take a Swaggering Corsair. Could take another Fanatical Firebrand. I don't mind 3 of them, especially if they have haste. We can play like a 15 or 16 land deck. Freebooter is okay, but it's too expensive for what it's worth. We're not a dinosaur deck. Recover's too slow. Take another Fanatical Firebrand. Maybe take a Gruesome Fate if we need to find a way to drain them out. There's no way I'm going to splash for green in this type of deck. Dinosaur Hunter is excellent. Also, Dust Charger can be an okay 4-drop if we're looking to play lots of permanents. This can get Ascend, and then it can be a nice mid-range creature. But I think the Dinosaur Hunter fits the deck just as a nice early pirate we can play, and it's a 2-drop that has a relevant ability in the late game. Could just hate draft, I don't know, the Suncrested Pterodon. Maybe take an uncommon for the vault. Guess I can take an Arterial Flow for the vault. Okay, so yeah, guess we're forcing pirates and it's paying off. Merfolk seem kind of open as well, but I think we still have a great deck. Some nice 1-drops, nice 2-drops, and 4-drops. So what can we expect for the next pack? Some good spot removal, some 3-drops, maybe another 4-drop, more 2-drops, and we should have a pretty exciting Rakdos Pirates deck. What's this? Pretty bad card, I think. Yeah, pretty bad. There's a 4-runner of the Empire, but we're not a dinosaur deck. I think we just take an Impale as a good spot removal, a great turn 4 play, in case there's a big ground blocker that we can't get past. I think pack 1, pick 1, it would be between like Impale, 4-runner, and Siren Reaver. Probably still take the Impale, since it's just a great card by itself, but I can see taking a Reaver, but we'll take the Impale. I guess we can take another Dinosaur Hunter. There's Mutiny as a not that amazing removal spell. Like, they're still going to keep their the creature to highest power, but it can be okay at times. Could just take another Dinosaur Hunter to fill the 2-drop slot. Not going to play Mastermind's Acquisition. We're not really looking to tutor anything for 4 mana, since that's a lot of mana for a whole turn. Just take another Dinosaur Hunter, fill out the curve of another great pirate. Ooh, Reaver Ambush is excellent. I think I'll take that. If this wasn't this pack, I think I'd take another Goblin Trailblazer to fill up the 2-drop department, but could use some exciting removal here. The Reaver Ambush is great. It's the best card in this pack, so definitely looking like black is open, and red as well. Here, there's another Pirate's Pillage. I mean, Pirate's Pillage is fine as a way to loot in the late game, but I think we're more likely interested in filling out the curve, and the Found Fleet Borders great in this deck. It's better than Swaggering Corsair because you do need to enable Raid to make this into a 3/3, while most likely this is just going to become a 3/3 since we're playing nothing but pirates all day. So this seems like a good card. I don't mind a Grasping Scoundrel in this deck as a okay 1-drop. since we're looking to be aggressive. Evolving Wilds is also fine. Not a big fan of Polyraptor unless I'm red-green. And this is a great payoff for being red-green. But again, we're not in those colors. Take a Grasping Scoundrel. And another Swaggering Courser seems fine. I do want to replace these with Flying Fleet Borders if possible. But I'm still fine playing them, since they're going to most likely enter as 3/3s in the meantime. Frilled Death Spitter might be playable just as a 3-drop that we could use to trade off and deal some damage to the opponent's face. There's also Vampire Revenant, but I don't really want to play a 4-mana 3/1, so I'll speculate on the Death Spitter. Most likely not going to make the cut. Take a dual land for the Vault. Take a Evolving Wilds in case we need to fix for mana. Take another uncommon for gems. Could see myself playing this if I need an okay Curve Topper. Not going to play Dark Inquiry in an aggro deck. Yeah, this isn't great, but it can be filler. Okay, so overall, not the most amazing second pack, but we did pick up an Impale and some 3-drops to fill our curve. Hopefully the next pack can reward us with some pretty juicy pirates. But I think our deck will get there. We'll see. What's this? Rampaging Ferocidon, 3-mana 3/3 menace. That's pretty good. Players can't gain life. That's also pretty good. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, Rampaging Ferocidon deals 1 damage to that creature's controller. Not that amazing since it has some drawbacks, but 3-mana 3/3 menace is definitely a nice aggressive creature. Swashbuckling is for an all-in game plan. There's a Darfleet Interloper as a fine 4-drop that I don't mind playing in a Pirates deck. Prime Blade is not amazing. I think it's the contract killing here. Like, I don't mind another expensive top-end removal spell. The Ferocidon is also pretty good. Like, it's a nice turn 3 play. A 3-mana 3/3 menace is difficult to deal with. But I think the contract killing is what we need. Like, we do need some good spot removal here, and hopefully we can wheel some nice aggressive creatures. And this is also Dinosaur, so it doesn't really have great synergy in our deck, since we're looking to mostly attack with dinos. So I'll take a contract killing here. That's a nice removal spell at 5. Not an Explore deck, so this isn't gonna gain value. This can be an okay card, especially if you're looking to be aggressive, and then we can just force the opponent to discard cards in the late game. But Fiery Cannonade looks pretty good as a nice sweeper. And it's pretty good in this deck since we're mostly playing pirates. So it's a great way to sweep the board against other aggressive decks. Although there is Deadeye Tormentor, which I'm a big fan of. Nice 3-drop. Phantom Fleet Firebrand can be fine as well. But I think the Deadeye might be better since it forces the opponent to discard. Rummaging Goblin can be a fine card in the late game. So really, I think the choice is between Fiery Cannonade and the Dead-Eyed Tormentor. The Fiery Cannonade can be pretty good. Like, at the end of the day, Dead-Eye Tormentor is just a 3-mana 2/2 with an okay ability, making the opponent discard. Sometimes we can play against, like, another Pirates deck. Non-Pirates deck, and this Fiery Cannonade can be pretty strong, being able to wipe the whole entire board. We can also just take a Pirates Cutlass, which is also great. So just between these 3 cards, I think Pirates Cutlass would be pretty nice, like just a way to enhance our pirates. But Fiery Cannonade has the potential to be quite amazing. It's not going to be the best against other pirate decks, so I gotta be careful. This could be a dead card, but this has a lot of upside. The Pirates Cutlass is just great in our deck overall. Just being able to enhance our pirates right away with a nice ETB. I don't know here. We might have enough spot removal that we don't care about the Fiery Cannonade. I think the game plan might just be to race against other opposing aggro decks. Even though this has a lot of great upside helping us race, I think we should be able to get in amount of good damage overall, and then we can use the spot removal to finish something off. This is more of a controlling card, obviously, so I don't mind the Pirates Cutlass. The Eye Tormentor would also be great, but I think this has a better permanent ability. Especially when it can just enter right away and enhance one of our pirates. So, the Eye Tormentor is also great. I don't know here. Obviously, hope I don't play these dinosaurs. They're pretty bad. I do have a decent number of 3s already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we'll add a Pirate's Cutlass. I think it's good enough that we take it here. Do like the Phantom Fleet Cutthroat in these pirate decks. Cherish Hatchling, we're not really dinosaur deck. This is whatever. This is a bomb, almost 5 mana 4/4. Yeah, this is a great card for the Vampires deck. I would be happy playing this in the Vampires deck. Just being able to enable flying with this is pretty awesome. Hoarder I also wouldn't mind, but I think the Phantom Fleet Cutthroat has more upside. We could use another good 4-drop. We have a good number of 2s already, and if we're looking to be aggressive, sometimes we can have a nice removal spell and a creature on turn 4, and this can be pretty powerful. So I'll take the Phantom Fleet Cutthroat here. I can take another one. I can also take a Direfleet Hoarder, but it's not amazing. All it does is it helps you ramp. I could use another good 4-drop. Grim Captain's Call. Not a card I'm looking particularly happy to play, since we're usually going to focus on 1 tribe instead of 2. So I think I'll take a Phantom Fleet Cutthroat. Direfleet Hoarder is again okay, but we're not really looking to ramp. And this is a good curve topper for us. I guess I can take another one. I might not play the 3rd copy, but it's still better than what we have here. I mean, we could just play it since we're lacking playables. What's this? This isn't bad. I guess if we're looking to be aggressive, we could use a Pump Trick at the end of the day. Hijack also isn't bad. We're not looking to sacrifice, but it can be a decent finisher. Both of these cards are decent finishers. Lookout Dispersal can be fine on the splash, but we're not splashing. I mean, this can be pretty strong. And we're looking to play lots of creatures, and if we're looking to go wide, we could use a nice Pump Trick to close out the game. Hijack can be also fine. Which one do we prefer? Like, we do have Contract Killings and removal spells already. We might just take the Dinosaur Stampede as an easier thing to cast, since double red can be a bit of a problem to cast this. I'll take a Dinosaur Stampede. I mean, I guess our creatures don't have trample, so if they get chump blocked, this isn't amazing. It's only great if it goes unblocked, so I'll take a Hijacked. Could just be better, and it looks like a Pirate's themed card anyways with a pirate in it. There's a Brazen Buccaneers, which is okay. Costly Plunder I don't mind. Demolish is pretty bad. I have a bunch of 4s already. Don't really want to play a 4-mana 3/3 haste. Or 4-mana 2/2 haste. Seems quite excessive. Costly Plunder can be a fine way to maybe sack a creature or something to draw 2 cards, which isn't bad. We don't really have ways to generate treasures, however, but we could sacrifice like a 1-drop that's not doing anything. I don't know. Don't think I want Brazen Buccaneers. It seems pretty bad. I think we'll just take a Costly Plunder. Could take a Duress. Don't think I'm playing a 4-mana 3/3 Gilded Sentinel that does nothing. Could play Demolish. But Duress also isn't a bad main deckable card. Hopefully we find something playable here. Swashbuckling. I guess if we're going to go all in with the aggro plan, Swashbuckling can be okay. Raider's Wake. There's also Rummaging Goblin on turn 3. Raider's Wake isn't bad, but we do need to, again, prioritize attacking. And it is a 4-mana card, so it is going to cost a lot. Could just take a Rummaging Goblin. Like, it's not bad if we're going to play, I don't know, 17, 16 lands, since this can help us loot in case something bad happens, goes wrong. We are forced to attack with this every time to enable it. Sometimes there is a ground stall, and this isn't great. And if we attack with multiple creatures, it's still going to only make the opponent discard 1. Like, cards I'm not happy to play in this deck. Obviously, we're going to cut the Duress. Could see myself cutting the Costly Plunder. Even though it does draw me a card, Swashbuckling can be too all-in that I don't want to play it. Hijack, I don't mind main decking 1 copy of it. We already have a Pirate's Cutlass, so maybe Swashbuckling is a little bit worse than it looks. I don't know here. This can be pretty nice, but again, we have to attack. But it is 4 mana. Do I really want to play 4 mana just for this? Probably not. We'll take a Rummaging Goblin. Take an uncommon for gems. Okay, so it seems like a fine Pirates deck. Don't mind going 16 lands with this. I'm kind of... Swashbuckling is kind of questionable, since, I mean, I guess this is 17 land anyways with Evolving Wilds. Might not even need Evolving Wilds, in fact. But I might just do it just to be 16 lands. It's like, Swashbuckling is fine, but like it's pretty much all in. If the opponent kills the creature, it's not great. It doesn't even have Menace. So this is a card I'm not happy on. Hijack I can play as an okay finisher. Costly Plunder can be okay to help me dig. Although I am forced to sacrifice a creature. Guess I could sacrifice like a Fnatic Firebrand while it's blocking and draw 2 cards with it. Or sacrifice a treasure I get from contract killing. I could actually just play the Frilled Death Spitter here. Just as a random 3-drop. Arterial Flow doesn't seem great if I don't have any vampires. I could play Gruesome Fate, but that seems pretty bad. Don't want to play a 4-mana 4/4 without haste. Yeah, I guess I could Swashbuckling and throw in the random Dinosaur. And we can still go 17 lands with an Evolving Wilds. That can be okay for this deck. Might not even need an Evolving Wilds, since we do have like the Costly Plunder or the Rummaging Goblin to help us loot. But this is mostly, I guess, a 16 land deck anyway, so the Evolving Wilds can serve as a 16th land. I don't know, since it's really not a land at all, since it replaces itself. So yeah, we'll try something like this. And the mana base looks pretty even split, so we can go 8/8 with an Evolving Wild, so that seems pretty solid. Yeah, I don't mind this. And again, I don't like the Swashbuckling. Like, it's okay if you get an attack in, but at the end of the day, the creature doesn't have Menace. I think the Frilled Spitter might have a little bit more upside, since if it's dealt damage, at least deals 2 damage to the opponent. We want to get as much damage in, so we'll try this. What's this deck? And yeah, we're just looking to be hyper aggressive, and we're looking out to close the game quickly. So yeah, let's just attack as much as possible, and hopefully we can get there. Gruesome Fate could also be playable, but I'd rather just have creatures so I can overwhelm the opponent. I guess a sweeper in this deck would have been fine. Like, let's say we just get into a board stall and the opponent has a bunch of small creatures they would like to trade off too. That can be a bit of an issue. Yeah, maybe the sweeper was better than Pirate's Cutlass, but the Pirate's Cutlass is still pretty strong in this deck. It was a really hard decision. I wish I could have taken the whole entire pack with the Pirate's Cutlass, the Deadeye Tormentor, and the sweeper. What's this? We can cast Reaver Ambush on 3. Doesn't seem like a great hand. This won't be cast too often. This won't be cast. I think we mulligan, even though we're on the play. This isn't even great. I guess I'm forced to keep this since I don't want to go down to 5. And we can just dump, I don't know. I guess the Costly Plunder, even though that's better in the late game. But I think I need to get to land 4, so we'll keep this. And we don't really have anything to stack anyways. Alright. Yeah, this is a bit of a disaster if we don't get an early creature with this deck. Opponent's also playing the same color, so I guess we're going to be racing each other. Although that's not really a card I want to play. I guess I'm fine playing out the Firebrand. And we can just pass here. No need to attack or anything. I could attack next turn. I could just equip the Cutlass. I actually don't mind him attacking here. It's better if he does attack. If he wants to pump, that's fine. He can use up his whole turn to pump. Ooh, I could just sack the Fanatical Firebrand and kill it. That's actually not bad. I could also Cutlass and offer to trade, but that's pretty bad. So I think we're just going to sacrifice this and then use the Cutthroat and finish it. I guess in that circumstance, the board sweep wouldn't have been great against the opponent. The fact that they're also playing Pirates. This is a fine card. I could kill it with the Impale, but I think we just Cutlass here and play the Goblin Trailblazer, since it's more mana efficient and we can kill this later. We'll try it. I don't think there's a red removal spell here. I guess he could have a... Okay, that's a good one. Sure. I guess I can now just cast a Goblin Trailblazer. Reckless Rage is pretty good, especially with 3/3. Could just offer to trade here with the Sun-Collared Raptor, since it can be quite scary later. Do I want to play defense? He can pump this, so I think we'd play defense. Use up his whole turn. That's a good one. I think I'll Impale that. Could play the Found Fleet's Cutthroat and offer to trade. But this is also going to become a 3/3. Each other attacking part, so this is going to be a 3/3 of attack. So I think I'm fine playing out the Cutthroat to block it for a turn. Maybe next turn we use the Impale on it. Okay, I think I go for the block because I have a combat trick here. But we just do the trade here, so that's fine. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, I think I just Impale the Dust Charger before it gets to send. Yeah, this is a situation I don't want in this type of deck. Just, yeah, just flooding out, not having playables, not having the 1-drop, the 2-drop, the 3-drop. It's quite unfortunate. The Rummaging Goblin can be fine now. I can start discarding lands. I can just also offer to trade, almost, if he decides to attack. I might just do that, since I'm pretty low on life. That's pretty annoying. I can always block and activate this. I can just activate it, but I think I'll block and activate until end of turn because I don't want to go unblocked here. Take 2. Opponent seems like he's flooding as well. Reaver Ambush is pretty nice. I guess I can play my Fanatical Firebrand now. And then sack the Goblin Trailblazer. Yeah, I think I'll just do it here. I'll just sack it, destroy the Goblin Trailblazer. Reaver Ambush the Swaggering Courser and get in for 3. Because I can't stay back forever. I do need to be aggressive. I don't really have anything to loot away, so hopefully he's all tapped out and he has nothing left. But I have a Call to the Feast, which is pretty annoying. Guess this can still be a good, decent ground blocker against the opponent. Although I could make a 3/3 here. I think we'll just do that. Do I move the Cutlass? I could move the Cutlass, but it doesn't really play around Bombard or anything. But I also don't think the keeping on the Rummaging Goblin does anything either, so... Okay, well, that's game over. So, yep, he has a bit of Vampire synergy too. So yeah, this deck is really looking to hit its 1-drops and 2-drops. It's unfortunate I couldn't find any off the top in that matchup, even though I mulliganed. Let's keep playing this. Yeah, now that I think about it, maybe the board sweeper was still good. Like even that opponent wasn't playing completely pirates, so maybe the pirates cutlass was the wrong choice. Although it does enhance my creatures, it's I think maybe the board sweep was the better choice, especially in scenarios where there's lots of other ground creatures. So. Okay, well at least we have a 1-drop and 2-drop this time. We actually have a game. However, we aren't on the play, obviously. Just pass. There's no reason to attack because he's just going to block. I can still use a Fanatical Firebrand to sack if he plays a 1 toughness creature. Sure. So he has this 5-drop. Sure, I guess I can cast the Dinosaur Hunter since it can attack past this Stubhorn Sentry. The Goblin Trailblazer is also a consideration. The question is which one is a better attacker for next turn, since we do want to get this to raid, so I don't mind the Dinosaur Hunter since it can attack past this, and if he plays another Dinosaur, he's most likely aren't going to trade off. And I do want to get this out there as a 3/3. In white-green dinos, he could have a lot of life gain going, so we could be in a rough spot. This can finish off the Pterodon with the Phantom Fleet Cutthroat next turn. Okay. Sure. Giving a Dinosaur haste so he can give his Flyer haste next turn. I still can't answer any of these, but I'm fine just attacking here. Next turn we can finish off his 2/5 or any scary dinos with the Fanatical Firebrand. Or we could save this. I mean, this is going to have Vigilance when it comes in, so I do want to kill it. Otherwise, I won't be able to attack past it other than trading off my 2/2. And that doesn't seem pretty fun. And if I can lower the permanent amounts, I can prevent this from ascending. So I might just pull the trigger. Okay. And that's haste. Sure, I don't mind that. I can get him for 5 next turn. Develop the Fanatical, the Cutthroats. Hopefully he doesn't drop like a giant bomb that I might regret using this on. Cutlass. I could equip the Cutlass, make this into a 5-power creature, and go for an attack. That's also a consideration. But I think this is just more efficient. And I can still get in there for 5. Hopefully he doesn't play a big bomb. If he does, I'm going to be quite disappointed with what I just did, since I need to kill a removal spell off the top to deal with a large threat, if that's the case. I guess he's almost ascending. He has 8 permanents. He needs 2 more until the Snubhorn Sentry actually becomes a threat. Think I'm fine. Ooh, that's a good one. I think I'm fine just attacking here. If he has a combat trick, I can just finish it off with a Cutthroat either way. If not, I think I'm fine playing the Frilled Death Spitter. Okay. He might have something. We'll see. Could have a pump trick, like giving everything +1/+1. Okay, I guess he's just gonna trade. What's this? Attacking creatures. So I don't understand. I think the opponent misplayed there. It only affects attacking creatures. Well, that's good for me then. I guess I can play the Frilled Death Spitter. Yeah, not a good combat trick to use on defense. So he just essentially just buffed all my creatures. But you live and you learn. Not bad. A bunch of 2-drops. Not the most crazy hand, but maybe we can top deck into something nice. I'm on the draw, so there's a chance I could get my double black. But I don't think I mulligan with this, since I do have some 2-drops. And some early aggression. And some nice removal spells to follow up with. So I think I'll try this. Not amazing, but it's okay. Okay, there we go. The menace of the set. So I might have to kill that if he puts a Curious Obsession onto it. I can take one for now. Luckily he doesn't have it. So I'm happy just curving out. If he enhances this even more, I will definitely kill it. But I'll take one per turn now. He could just keep up Counterspell. Probably a Hornswoggle. So I don't mind him countering my Dinosaur Hunter, since that's not even a great card. It does put me off tempo, but that's fine. If he wants to Hornswoggle this, I don't really care. So I am pressuring him with 4 power per turn, so he needs to come up with something. Could just bounce end of turn. Sure. Wish there's a sacrifice archetype with his hijack. I could always just steal his treasure. This can start growing, but it's going to take a long time. I don't mind trading it. Ooh, that's a nice pickup. Think we'll just leave this back or something, and if he decides to attack, we can always use it as a combat trick. If he blocks and tries to pump, then that's also reasonable, but we'll just play another Dinosaur Hunter here. And I can always flash this in at instant speed if he wants to try something here, so we'll say go. I could just trade, but if he tries a trick, again, I can just flash into Poisoner, give this Death Touch. I guess it's only attacking pirates, but I can still flash this in to block. We'll see. Or kill it. Or I can just take 2, like, it's not the end of the world. He stays back, okay. Think we just let that happen. I could just contract killing here. Should I just murder it? Like, it's not bad. Like, contract killing is good removal. Maybe the Direfleet Poisoner is better. Let's say he counters, what happens? That's going to be an issue. Hopefully he doesn't have, like, Hornswoggle up. So I do have a Direfleet Poisoner mana up if he tries something here. We'll still get him for 2. Since he was planning to use this as a trick by making this into a 3-3, okay, that's fine. I guess I can use the Direfleet Poisoner next turn if he decides to block with the 1-3. Opponent doesn't seem to have an impressive Merfolk deck, to be honest. We'll attack. Don't know if this works. I could be wrong. Okay. That's fine. I still have ways to get past this or deal with any large threats later. So we're trading 1 for 2. He used a Hornswoggle on a 2/2 flash creature, which is okay. It is a good creature, but I'd still have a removal spell for something scarier. Guess you can just return back to 1/1 and just recast it, okay. Could just impale this since he's most likely not going to block with it. We'll move to attacks, see what he does. If he wants to trade, that's fine. Alright, we'll just impale it. And maybe we can go for lethal of a hijack eventually, but we'll see. Guess we're just racing 3 and 2. Or I can just hijack this. Scoundrel isn't bad, so maybe I can set up a turn where I can just hijack and get him for lethal. We'll see. I can still take 1 per turn. That's a fine card. It has hexproof though, so I guess I'll be taking 3 now. I mean, this doesn't have haste, so I'm still going to be taking 1. Yeah, I do need to set up a turn where I can hijack and go for an all-out attack. I guess this is okay since I can just kill the 2/4 if he decides to block, so we'll go for it. Hope he doesn't have counterspell. I'll play a land here just in case. And now we can use hijack to maybe finish the game off if he tries something. This has hexproof, so okay, that's a good one. So we can steal the Colossal Dreadmaw and essentially close out the game. Yep, hijack definitely sealing the deal here. Pretty close. Since this would have been lethal, maybe I'm forced to jump block next game, but yep, luckily the opponent tapped out for a large creature, and we got there. So the Cutthroats are definitely overperforming in this deck. Would have loved, yeah, maybe I would have loved the Board Sweeper that only targets non-pirates. Now that I think about it, since there's a couple of games that the Sweeper would have been great. Is there any other considerations? Yeah, I think Gruesome Fate is too bad. Like, I'm mostly going to drain for 2 per turn if the opponent keeps killing my stuff. This is just a 2-mana 2/2, who cares? I mean, it can be fine by giving a creature haste, but overall I think our deck is as optimal as it can be with what we currently have, so we'll keep playing this. And hopefully we have games where we curve out nicely 1-drop into 2-drop, etc. Alright, 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop seems good. Even though we do have a tap land, I think we still keep this. And we're not the turn 1 play, but we can always play the Grasping Scoundrel. This is nice with the Direfleet Poisoner. Okay. Don't mind attacking into this because he's not going to block, most likely. Since this is too valuable of a card to block here. I think I'll just play the Goblin Trailblazer and start curving out. Do need to be careful that this can reach Ascend, but I do have a contract killing to deal with it later. I could flash in a Poisoner to block this if he tries any enhancement shenanigans. So I might just play out the Evolving Wilds instead next turn instead of developing the Swaggering Courser. Like, he could definitely enhance this and make this into a 4/4. Do I block this? This is too weird of an attack. I think I let go since I do have the more power on the battlefield. He's probably trying to enable Raid here. Sure, that's fine. He's most likely just going to trade here with the 1/1 and take 2. Guess Negate isn't a good card for him, but we'll attack. The question is, do I play a Swaggering Courser now, or do I play the tap dual land? Swaggering Courser might disincentivize an attack, since this is a 2/2, and keep him back, and then we can play a slow game. Next turn we could just use the Poisoner if something happens. But if he attacks into this, it's obviously going to be strange, so I'm definitely not going to block. Okay, so that's just a turn to game value. It's nothing special. Ooh, the Firebrand is pretty decent. I think I'll just play land, play the Firebrand, and I guess if he blocks the Firebrand, I can use the Poisoner. That's actually pretty good. We'll try that. Because I don't mind flashing this in. I could flash it in still, but yeah, I don't mind flashing this in. Just to get extra damage and more board presence. And we can sack this, and then we can even sack the Firebrand to kill any big blockers he has out of the way. That's a fine card. Hopefully he doesn't get anything, and he doesn't, so we're in good shape. So I can definitely sack this Firebrand and finish off the Stormfleet Swashbuckler with the Cutthroats next turn. He might have something, we'll see. And we have a contract killing in our hand that can deal with any other creatures, so that he tries to block. We'll play the Mountain. Could use the First Strike trick here. So do I main phase this? I don't mind main phasing this, since this isn't going to do much anyways, so. He could have the First Strike trick to block this, so I might just attack with only 2 of these. But I could just make him use it. Why not? I'll make him use it. Like, I don't want him to hold on to it forever. He's probably going to block this and use the Swashbuckler trick. But he's still taking 5. And losing this isn't the end of the world. I do have another contract killing up. Yeah, he has the First Strike trick. So now he doesn't have any good blocks. I can contract killing whatever big blocker he plays, get that out of the way, and just try to get in for lethal. Okay, that's a card, but you don't really want to play that in a red-blue Pirates deck, since it's quite clunky. So the Cutthroat's definitely overperforming in this draft. I think I had 3 of them, right? I think 3 of them is good. They've just been doing very well since they allow me to be very aggressive, and then I can just follow up and kill whatever they have. So yeah, 3 cutthroats. I'm pretty pleased at what they just did during the last couple of games, so quite happy about that. Okay, 1 drop. Okay, I think this is fine. Fanatical Firebrand with the Cutthroat's great. I'm just gonna attack him for 1 right away, even though this does hit a little bit harder. I just want to get the haste damage in. There's no flash shenanigans I need to be aware of. Could have a bounce trick end of turn, but that's fine. Next turn I can follow up the Cutthroats after I attack or ping his creature off. Okay, that's a card, but I'm fine using the... Ooh, wow, oh, so it's fighting it? Okay, that's annoying. I could always play the Cutlass. Cutlass is decent. I could also just attack, but he's going to suspect something, so we'll play the Cutlass out. It would be pretty annoying if he has a Water Knot. I don't mind if he chumps here, but this can attack past the Seer, so that's fine. If he uses a trick next turn, I can always use a Cutthroat. So yeah, the Archer definitely doing a lot of good work against this Firebrand, but if I top deck another one, that can be pretty solid too. Don't mind attacking. If he goes for a double block, I can always use the Cutthroat to finish whatever he has left. So I think I'm fine just attacking here. And then we will definitely kill the Archer, since that's a scarier threat. He could pump it, but that's fine. I do want all the damage to sink into the Archer. There's no Essence Scatter in this set, so I'm fine just re-equipping. Making another scary pirate. He could bounce next turn. Since the Merfolk decks do have a lot of interaction spells, that's okay. I can just contract killing, I guess. Yeah, why not? This is pretty annoying, since they can make a 1/1 token. And 4 is a lot, so... And this can 2-for-1 the opponent, like kill off their Shaper, and then whatever big creatures, we can use the rest of the remaining damage to use the Cutthroat to finish it off. And I don't mind that in this scenario. I don't mind just dealing all the, just splitting all the damage. So let's move the attacks. He's gonna double block. I'm gonna deal damage first to the Apprentice, and then let the remaining rest go through, and then finish it off with the Cutthroats. Don't mind just equipping the Cutlass here. Even though I do lose a treasure, I should be okay. That's a fine card. He can chump block all day if he wants. You have another Cutthroat to follow up. I am flooding, but I don't think I need to play the second Cutthroat, since this has 4 toughness. Okay. He might have a trick. I guess I can kill whatever trick he has. But I can't target the hexproof, so I think I'm just gonna go like this. Okay, I guess this is a full trade, that's fine. Lose everything at least, and then I can play out my Cutthroat here, and then re-equip. Save the treasures. Could have saved the land for the Rummaging Goblin, but this is okay. Doesn't have any good blocks. Keeping land for the Rummaging Goblin is good here. He's forced to chump block this next turn if he doesn't have anything. Opponent could have a Pump Trick. That's a pretty nice card here. Let's just attack. See what the opponent does. That's fine. We can kill the Flyer and then play out the Dinosaur Hunter. This is still a nice 1-for-1. And then the Dinosaur Hunter can get the Cutlass. Cutlass definitely doing a lot of work in this matchup. Guess this will trade for the 3-4, so I might stay back. Probably gonna stay back here. Like, I could attack, but and offer a trade, but I think it's better if I find a way to clear a path and then force him to chump block with this 2-2. What's this? Draw a card and exile a card from your hand. If cards with 5 or more different converted mana costs are exiled with Azor's Gateway, you gain 5 life. Transform it. Okay, so just a giant mana rock, so I don't mind just attacking here. Forcing a trade, playing the Cutthroats. I don't mind losing 2 life. I should have played this first, but this is fine. Play out 1 land, since we do have a Rummaging Goblin anyways. You could have a counter spell. Could play this pre-combat. That should have been fine to prevent a 2 life, but I mean, he could run away with this if he gains enough life. I mean, he's just going to go up to 7, but he is definitely using this to loot. Guess he just has a bunch of lands and he's forced to chump here, since he would have I guess he wanted to exile lands anyways, so force a chump. This is good. And then next turn he needs to throw in another chump blocker or it's game over. I like how this Pirate's Cutlass is turning all my pirates into feasible threats that he needs to answer or chump block ASAP, so definitely getting a lot out of this. Hopefully this doesn't get to 5, and it doesn't, so he could use this next turn and gain 5 life. He might just put a chump blocker here. Okay, that's a good one. Probably gonna find an answer here. Okay, an opt, that's okay. I do need to get my plunder or something to draw some cards here. He could have a Water Knot. That's okay. I guess that's gonna buy him a turn, but right, the Flood Out's not great. Guess I can now play a land anyways. Don't want to spend a whole turn not having anything to play, but now he can start gaining life. This can gain a lot of mana at the end of the day, but I think he's just going to use this to loot and gain life. Yeah, he's going to gain 5 life, go up to 7. What's this? I guess he had nothing? Wow, let's attack. Wow, how is that possible? I guess he could have looted away the Stormwind Sculptor and gained 5 life and survived. I don't know. I think he might have misplayed there. Because he definitely had the card advantage going, and I was definitely flooding out that this game, so. just top decking lands all day, but we're definitely getting there at least. I'm considering maybe main decking another card and going 16, but we're still doing fine. That last game was a little bit sketchy, though, since I drew like 4 lands in a row. What's this? Okay, turn 1. We have a turn 1 play at least. I think it's good. It's a good keep. We're on the draw though. We have been on the draw with so many games that I'm kind of questioning if this is all rigged. Okay, so now I can crack the Evolving Wilds, fetching Mountain, end of turn. And hopefully I get a 3-drop or a 2-drop next turn I can play. Or I can Reaver, ambush whatever annoying blocker he has. That's pretty annoying, so we'll fetch a Mountain here. See what's up. Does he have a 1-drop? I guess he does. I can play the Pirate's Cutlass, and I guess he's gonna go for a double block. And my Sailor, he's just gonna trade off for the Sailor of Means. Could just play the Cutlass. What happens? This is going to be a 4-2, but he's just gonna double block. I could Reaver ambush, but maybe the Pirate's Cutlass is a better play. And we can attack next turn, I guess. I don't know. I think it's fine just trading for both. I think I kill the Heartstopper here, even though this has more toughness. I could attack. Actually, I could have waited till next turn so I can follow with a Cutthroat. So I might regret attacking like that. But I guess my Cutthroats can now attack past all these Sailor of Means, so... I could also just Dinosaur Hunter. This becomes 4 power only. So it's still going to die to double block. Actually not. I don't know. This could be useful. If we can get a land next turn, that can be nice. I guess this is 2 mana to equip, so I think I'll just do this instead. I forgot this was 2 mana, so then, like, if he uses a small creature next turn and then he tries to double block, I can use the Cutthroat to finish off the Sailor of Means. So this is actually pretty decent. Should have stayed back last turn, I think. But that's just gonna buy him more time. Sure. So Sailor of Means Ascend control deck. We'll just recast it, re-equip. He could just outvalue us in this control deck, since I'm pretty sure they run lots of spot removal and evasive threats. But we do have a good number of removal spells in our opening hand, that can answer whatever threats he plays out. That's a fine card. I don't mind attacking, and if he decides to double block, I guess he's just going to block it off. So I might as well just Reaver ambush this. He might not trade though. But I guess this is fine. Just use a Reaver ambush on the Siren Reaver. Then get him for 4. And take 2. Since I think I do want to do as much damage as possible here. Okay, more Sailors. I can definitely, if he double blocks, I can finish one off with a contract killing. I could just play the Fanatical Firebrand and sack it, and then go hit for 4. But I think I want to develop my Cutthroat, since since I do want to be mana efficient, and we'll kill the Hoarder first, obviously, and then we'll finish the... I could play the Fanatical Firebrand and then the Rummaging Goblin, but I have nothing to rummage, so we'll just finish off this Sailor of Means here. And then we'll start attacking for 5 next turn, potentially. Do want to get rid of these walls, they're pretty annoying. And this is just efficient removal and a creature, so... Recover, okay. I can impale this if he tries something here. I guess I can still follow up with my second Phantom Fleet Cutthroat. Definitely blocking here, doesn't make any sense not to block. Guess I could just impale here. Get him for 3. PC's obviously just going to trade. Interesting. Could just play the Firebrand here and then play Rummaging Goblin and stay back. And then next turn we can sack this and use a Cutthroat to finish whatever comes out. So we'll just try that instead. Stay back. Don't really want to trade the 3/3 for the 1/2. We can still block a Sailor of Means at the end of the day. Opponent is suspecting something. Yeah, let's just use this. He might have a counter spell here, but I think this is worth doing. And we can loot away, I don't know, something that we don't need. We could just loot away the Costly Plunder at the end of the turn. And then we'll stay back here. But we do have a contract killing with the Costly Plunder, so I might instead loot away the Death Spitter to hopefully hit my land drops almost one way or another. I don't know. I do need to get at least 1 land for the contract killing, and I do want to generate tokens for the Costly Plunder. The Death Spitter can actually be fine though, since okay, that's fine. I do have another 3/3 up to attack past the Sailor of Means. We'll keep we'll keep the Death Spitter. I think it has a lot of utility in this deck. Now we can play out the Goblin Trailblazer, catch a Cutlass, get in there for nice 5. We still have mana to rummage. We can still rummage with the Goblin. Opponent is just making a big wall. He's not playing any scary threats. I still have my removal spells. What would be scary is a Hexproof Flyer. That would be pretty difficult to deal with instead. He might have a removal spell for the Rummaging Goblin, but he's just flooding out, so we're actually doing really nice here. Don't want to contract killing any of these. I guess he wants to steal. I guess now we can contract killing our own Cutthroats. Or just re-equip the Pirate's Cutlass. Or just contract killing. Yeah, we'll just contract killing this. I could impale. Nah, let's contract killing. Could just end a turn Costly Plunder. Nah, we'll just stay back. I guess I can just main phase my Costly Plunder. Ooh, so now I can equip, attack, and then play the Swaggering Courser. I think that's better. And then we can sacrifice the treasure tokens later. He's forced to double block, but that's okay. He still loses a Sailor. 1 less blocker is good. Do want to loot a land away. I mean, okay, that's fine. I have an Impale. I can answer that. Do I need to impale it? That's the only question. I think I do. Or I can play it slow, just cast a Costly Plunder, sacrifice a treasure. And that's not bad, and I can start digging for better answers. Sure, I don't mind that. So now I can equip the Cutlass. If he wants to trade for this, that's fine. I'll just put out the Fanatical Firebrand as well. We'll attack in for 5. And I'm fine trading for a Spire Wander, and I do have an Impale with whatever bomb he plays. And I should be able to win, essentially, once I drop the Death Spitter and use the Cutlass to attack past everything, so... Don't mind him using the Negate. So now he's shields down. We'll play the Death Spitter, equip onto the Death Spitter, so this is going to be a pretty difficult creature to block. Then we can loot with the Rummaging Goblin. And this should be game over. That's a card I'm happy to impale. Poisoner is fine. Is there a trick I can use? I can give this Death Touch, I guess, but it needs to be attacking. Yeah, we'll just impale here, I think. We're not going to waste any more time with this. And then I could just flash in the Poisoner here, or attack for 5. I'll attack in for 5. Keep the Poisoner as a trick in case it has another double block coming, and I can 2-4-1 the opponent essentially. I could just flash this in end of turn. Actually, that's not bad. And go for an all-out attack. He's forced to chump block this. He loses 2 life. And it should be lethal. Opponent does have a cool deck though, I'm not going to lie. So I might just attack with everything here. Actually, let's loot first. And then I'll attack with the Fanatical Firebrand if need be. And if he blocks it, I can flash into Darfleet Poisoner and give it Death Touch and +1/+1. That should seal the deal, I think. Deal 2 to the opponents. And I should have enough attackers. I don't think there's any board wipes in Blue-Black Ascend. So we should be in good shape. Sure. He still needs to discard a card. Does he have a blocker? I can still get in for 2, I think. I can just equip the Cutlass to the Firebrand and we should be okay. Unless he has another Melody here. Windstrider, okay, sure. Yep, we got there. Hope has a pretty cool deck, but it wasn't the most hyper synergistic. Just a bunch of ground blockers, making treasure tokens. But he wasn't using the treasures for much. No splashing, no synergies with the tokens. Okay, so currently 5-1. Maybe we get to 7. This deck is looking pretty strong. Alright, well, this hand looks awful. I don't have a single 1-drop in black. The card that I can only cast is Impale. I need single red. If I don't get it, it's game over. So we'll just mulligan. This is a little bit better, although I'm not liking it, but I think I can keep this. So I just ditch a Fanatical Firebrand. Could just ditch a Fanatical Firebrand because I do need to get to turn 3, I think. I could Flood, but I do have a Rummaging Goblin on turn 3 to prevent that, so I think this is fine. And just getting there for 1. I don't think I need 3 Fanatical Firebrands in the opening hand. They're not going to attack past much, so... And then we can start rummaging away cards we don't need with the Rummaging Goblin. I need to ensure that I at least get to land 5 at least, otherwise I won't be able to cast my Contract Killing. Like right now, so I guess I'll cast a Rummaging Goblin and stay back. We'll stay back. And I can rummage away the Hijack maybe, since it's not going to do much. That's a good one. Okay. I could just sack both of my Firebrands to kill this. Since it can be quite a major issue if I don't. What's this? Headstrong Brute. Okay. So I could block and then sack to kill the Forerunner. I think I will, so I'm going to block here. Since it's just going to keep draining me if I leave this around, so I do need to get rid of this. And we'll say go. Impale is nice. Guess I'll rummage. Cutlass isn't bad. Guess I'll just cast it here. Although I could save as a surprise, I'm going to cast it here. That's a good one. So I do need to get my 4th land to answer this, otherwise it's going to deal too much damage. I could loot this away, but it's also pretty decent. Is this going to do anything? You can trade off for a 2-2, but it's not going to do anything else. We'll just loot. Hopefully I can just maybe outvalue him by getting enough lands, I guess, and assassinating this, maybe. We'll see. I might as well equip the blade here. Take 5. Next turn we can maybe impale this and get rid of it. Yeah, this isn't looking good. This is what I get. I mean, even by mulligan, it wasn't a great hand either way. It was just a pretty awful hand, I think. Now it might just be too late since the opponent has too many threats. This would have been nice with the Contract Killing, but yeah, this hand just sucks. Could trade this off. Although I do need ways to loot, but I do have a costly Plunder. Maybe if I get to land 5. Yeah, this is game over. That's going to steal my Contract Killing. Okay, alright, 5 and 2. That game was just pretty unlucky. Not having a good curve, the opponent being able to play out more stuff than you, and yeah. Having the mulligan the first hand since we couldn't cast anything. Pretty unfortunate. So we're 5 and 2. Just 2 more wins and we should be able to get this. But I think overall our deck is pretty strong. But that last game was just pretty bad. I think the Fanatical Firebrands would have been great if we had 4 mana and a Cutthroat to follow up with. Alright, not bad. 1 drop. Hopefully we get to turn 4. And we're on the play, so I don't think I mulligan. At least this thing maybe getting 4 points of damage if I'm lucky. And the Cutthroat can be a nice follow-up after this gets blocked and killed off. Okay, that's a nice follow-up. Gonna hide my second color. The opponent might think I am black-blue, who knows? But it's most likely black-red since I'm being hyper-aggressive here. Oh well, okay, I guess I could just flash in the Darkfleet Poisoner. I could save it for next turn if he puts out a creature and tries to block. I might just do that since there's a chance I might miss my land drop. Okay, that's fine. He's using this to cantrip. Sure, I could just flash this in end of turn. Actually, that's not bad since I do want to pressure the opponent. Just to have more bodies onto the battlefield, and then we can attack it for 4 again. And this is a pretty difficult creature to block. Okay, let's attack. Yep. Alright, 6 and 2. Final boss. Overall, hopefully we get lucky the next game and curve out just like we did that one game. This game. But final boss. Let's do this. Maybe we can fire off an Ikoria draft after this, and I can upload another cool video. Alright, 1 minute mark. It could be the 1.5 minute mark, but final boss. Let's do this. Come on. Let's get that Grasping Scoundrel on turn 1, and then get a 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop going. Alright, let's do this. Hopefully I get to 7 wins, but I'm still happy that I got to 6 at least. Alright, seems fine. 2 drop into 3 drop. I think I'll keep, and we can cast our Impale. We're on the play. Ooh, this would have been nice. But I guess I'll play my Dinosaur Hunter here. I could play this next turn and get in for 3, but I think that's a little bit too ambitious. I think just casting the Courser is nice. The opponent's stumbling due to the fact that he's playing the Evolving Wilds, but I guess he's playing the same deck. I don't know. But at least we're on the initiative here. This 3/3 is going to be pretty difficult to face against, unless you can toss in a Phantom Fleet Border, but we can always Impale it. That's a fine card. I don't mind trading this off. Yeah, I don't mind trading this off. Offer it, and then I can follow it with a Firebrand. But he's not following it first, so we will just play this, and then play this. I could also next turn just sacrifice both Firebrands to deal with this. He's attacking, that's a little bit odd. This might be a Raid Enabler, so I'm not blocking. I think we have enough power that we don't care about just dealing damage to us. We're the aggressor, so gotta keep that in mind. Sure, I guess he was just trying to enable Raid. Could just impale that. Or I can just use the Cutthroat. Yeah, maybe Cutthroat's better. Just use it right now. Be mana efficient, develop the board, save our impale for something that's more difficult to remove. So yeah, Cutthroat and Firebrand definitely doing a lot of work in this deck. And we're definitely ahead on the battlefield, so this could just be 7 wins unless the opponent drops a bomb on us and wipes the board or something. That's a good card, but I can kill that with an Impale. Don't mind if I do. Hopefully it doesn't get countered, so what I can do is I can cast the Firebrand. Is he keeping up a negate? That would be pretty annoying. But let's try it. No negate, please. Because if I answer this as game over, he could have a negate for 2 mana, but most people don't really main deck that. Okay, that's fine. He's still drawing 2, and now I can attack with all. Yeah, we got him. Alright, yeah, nice 7-win deck. Easy Ixalan draft. How do you draft Ixalan? Just draft aggro all day, essentially. Aggro Merfolk, aggro Pirates, aggro Vampires. The only controlling archetypes are more like blue whites or blue black or even green white, I guess. Everything else is just aggro. So yeah, very aggressive set. Let's add this to our collection. Check out the deck. Yeah, a bunch of 1-drops. Costly Plunder to prevent ourselves from flooding. Also a decent way to sack our treasures from contract killing or any useless creatures in the late game, or ways to generate value in case the opponent has spot removal on one of our creatures. Cutlass has a nice way to enhance our creature, definitely better than the Swashbuckler, since we can get 2 for 1 for this. Hijack sometimes can steal a game, did steal a game with the Dreadmaw, but it can be a dead card if in the early game if we have no good targets, but overall it's a fine finisher if you need one. Reaver Ambush, Impale, and Contract Killing as a great removal spell, and then just a decent curve of Pirates. 4 1-drops for 2-drops and 5 3-drops. Frill Spitter is also decent since it can deal 2 damage when it trades, and it's a 3-drop nonetheless. And then Cutthroat, definitely the overperformer in this deck, comboing well with the Fanatical Firebrand. So this is most likely the MVP. Didn't see any games with Direfleet Netbreaker, so that was kind of disappointing. But definitely pretty happy with the Cutthroat decision that I took over the other cards. So yeah, definitely great deck. Let's get a reward, crack some packs, pretend we are doing Rivals of Ixalan, or just Ixalan draft, which I don't think they've ever done. They've done Rivals, but I don't think a pure Ixalan draft was ever fired on MTG Arena. Pack 1, pick 1. I guess I'll take my Mythic. Wily Goblin is okay, but Double Red isn't amazing, and yeah, it's a pretty bad card. You don't really want to cast Double Red for this, just to create a treasure token to help you ramp. It doesn't even have Menace. I'll take the 2/1 Menacing Goblin instead. This is a pretty good card in an aggressive Murloc deck. Just being able to just tap down on the opponent's creatures for a turn and get in a huge attack can be pretty powerful. Anointed Deacon's also decent common. Shaper Apprentice is a great Merfolk as well. As a great common since it's a 2/1 that can gain flying. So I think pack 1, pick 1, it would be like between Tempest Caller and Shaper Apprentice here. I think I would take the Tempest Caller since it's an uncommon and a little bit hard to grab, while the Shaper's Apprentice is a common that can usually get passed up later. But it's also a pretty good card. Or my Mythic, I don't know. And in this pack, what do we have? Call to the Feast is great, but Burning Sun's Avatar is definitely a bomb. I wouldn't mind first picking this and hedge my bets on a nice red mid-rangey or aggro red dinosaur deck and use this as a powerful curve topper. I mean, this is also great in a Pirates deck, so what the hell am I talking about? Like, let's say 6 mana in an aggro Pirates deck, you can just kill something, put a 6/6 body, and drain the opponent for 3. So this is quite a flexible card, even though you want Dinosaur Synergy to maximize the value of this card. It's still great in a Pirates deck, and I would be happy to pick this up. This is an okay card. this is a fine card. So yeah, Burning Sun's Avatar would be the pick. So yeah, another nice 7-win video. We're definitely getting there with the Ixalan drafts. I do have enough gems to fire off Ikoria, so I might jump into that again and fire off another Ikoria. But in the meantime, I'm going to start uploading more content in this channel. It should be pretty fun. And take care, guys. Have a great day. See ya.